Hello students. Lesson 1, Definition, Nature and Scope of Advertising. Advertising is multidimensional. It is a form of mass communication, a powerful marketing tool, a component of the economic system, a means of financing the mass media, a social institution, an art form, an instrument of business management, a field of employment, and a profession. Meaning of advertising, definitions of advertising, nature and scope of advertising. Let us say that a firm has developed a product which will satisfy the market demand. So essentially, he has to reach out to the public or to his target market and inform them about his product. For optimum exposure, he has to make sure that he reaches out to the maximum number of people. Mass communication would be the best way to reach out to the people, and the mode of reaching the masses is through advertisements. It should be, however, understood that advertising itself cannot sell the product. It merely assists in the selling process. Advertising also cannot rejuvenate or restore a poor product. It only helps in the selling process through the means of communication. Basically, you must understand that advertising is an announcement to the public of a product, service, or idea through a medium to which the public has access. The medium may be print, newspapers, magazines, posters, banners and hoardings, electronic, radio, television, video, cable, phone, internet or any other. An advertisement is usually paid for by an advertiser at rates fixed or negotiated with the media. Latin word. The word advertising originates from a Latin word advertere, which means to turn to. Webster's dictionary. A public notice, especially a paid notice, that is information of public interest, the act or process of advertising something. Oxford Dictionary. The Oxford Dictionary meaning of the term is to give public notice or to announce publicly. Cambridge Dictionary. Cambridge Dictionary meaning of the term is advertising is the business of trying to persuade people to buy products or services. Definition. Advertising may be defined as the process of buying sponsor identified media space or time in order to promote a product or an idea. It is perhaps the most visible of all the elements communication mix and is therefore subject of much criticism from consumer groups. It is also subject to government regulation. Thus, advertising is paid communication. Advertisements appearing in the newspapers, television, cinema, halls, etc. are duly paid form. The firms have to pay huge amounts of money for use of space in a newspaper or a time slot in television and radio. non-personal presentation of message. In advertisements, there is no face-to-face communication as it happens in the case of personal selling. These are presentations through mass media and as such are impersonal in nature. A form is a presentation or a sign, a symbol, an illustration, an ad message in a magazine or newspaper, a commercial on the radio or on television, a circular dispatched through the mail, or a pamphlet handed out at a street corner. The idea is to promote goods or services. Advertising is done with a specific objective of promoting a product or service and increases their sale. An idea could also refer to the political parties, letting the people know about their party and why they should vote for the party. Issued by an identified sponsor. The advertisers who sponsor the advertisement are duly identifiable in the advertised messages by the company name or the brand of the particular product. Product, sponsor, media. Now, Lifebuoy, Hindustan Unilever Limited, TV, radio, newspaper. Chyawanprash, Dabur India Limited, TV, newspaper. Tide, Procter & Gamble, TV, newspaper. Advertising is the business of creative thinking for commercial advantage. Advertising is the ability to sense, interpret, to put the very heart throb of a business into type, paper and ink. Advertising, a judicious mixture of flattery and threats. John E. Kennedy, who was a Canadian and was a copywriter at Lord and Thomas advertising agency, described advertising as salesmanship in print. Sidney Bernstein reinforces Kennedy's definition by describing advertising as a substitute for the human salesman. According to Selden, advertising is a business force which through printed words sells or helps sale, build reputation and fosters goodwill. John V.W. expressed advertising like salesmanship is an attempt to influence the thoughts and action of people. Kanner and Wichhurst given a definition in this form. Advertising includes those visual or oral messages in magazines, newspapers, movies and letters, over radio and television and on transportation vehicles and outdoor signs which are paid by their sponsors and directed to consumers for the purpose of influencing their purchases and attitudes. Information. It provides the communication link between someone who needs something is often just that simple. The advertiser provides information to person who is seeking it. Surely, advertising is the most efficient means of reaching people with product or service information. Presentation and promotion, however, hardly suggest an active attempt to influence people to action or belief by an overt appeal to reason or emotions. Controlled. The word controlled provides an important distinction between advertising and either personal selling or publicity. The content, time and direction of an advertising message are controlled by the advertiser. Identifiable. This word is used in preference to such terms as by an identified sponsor to indicate that receiver of the advertising message is able to identify both source and purpose. Marketing identifies consumer needs and supplies various goods and services to satisfy those needs most effectively. So the manufacturer needs to produce or manufacture the product according to the consumer needs, make available it at a price that the consumers find reasonable, supply the product to the consumers at different outlets they can conveniently approach, and inform the consumers about the product and its characteristics through the media they have access to. You must understand that advertising is a communication process. You have a certain message and that is decoded by a party sender to be encoded by another receiver. We must understand that the so encoded message should be so clear that the person should not distort the meaning of it. This means that what you are trying to say and what the other person makes out of the message should be same. You should not make the other party confused. Should gain attention of the receiver, be understood, be able to stimulate the receiver and suggest appropriate method to satisfy their needs. So the sender must know his receivers or the audience and the kind of response they are likely to elicit. 4 P's of marketing: product, price, promotion and place. In a way, we can say that the entire process of marketing is a communication process. Product. A product is normally a set of physical elements such as quality, shape, size, color and other features. The product may be of very high quality. At times, the product is so designed that it requires careful handling and operations. Buyers must be informed and educated on the various aspects of the product. This can be effectively done through advertising. For example, what we want to say about a particular product is it is youthful, young, matured, secured. That is what is the profile of the customers that we are looking at. Price. Within the context of price, quality plays a major role. The price is the exchange value of the product. A marketer may bring out a very high quality product with additional features as compared to competitors. In such a case, price would be definitely high, but buyers may not be willing to pay a high price. Here comes advertising. Advertising can convince buyers regarding the superiority of the brand and thus its value for money. This can be done by associating the product with prestigious people, situations or events. Place. The place would mean the interaction between the buyer and the seller. Place refers to physical distribution and the stores where the goods are available. Marketers should see to it that the goods are available at the convenient place and that too at the right time when the buyers need it. To facilitate effective distribution and expansion of market, advertising is of great significance. Thus, advertising do help in effective distribution and market expansion. Promotion. Promotion would encompass the method and the media used to reach out to the people, even in rural areas where there may not be many televisions in households, but through the local shows and with the help of Nautankiwalas. you promote your product. Advertising media. Communication of the sponsored message to the largest possible number of consumers, but also enables the repetition of the message as often as may be necessary. This helps to reinforce the effect of advertising as well as to remain and sustain the customer's interest in a product or service. Use of particular types of media makes it possible to convey information in as much detail as required by adjusting the size of the message to space or time. For example, press media, newspapers and magazines may be used on payment of charges for as much space as needed, or radio and television may be used for advertising a product on the basis of time to be developed. Mass media, which are used for reaching the public, may thus be regarded as one of the best means of creating demand and promoting sales. Even in the case of small business firms, use of certain types of media like handbills, posters, signboards serves the purpose of reaching many more people than is possible through personal contacts. The media used for local purposes are relatively less expensive than personal selling. Other subjects. Advertising as such is related closely to other subjects of marketing too, be it personal selling, sales, promotion, publicity, or even public relations. Advertising consists of oral message and their communication for making people aware of and favorably inclined towards a product or service or a point of view. Sales promotion. The underlying objective of all advertising is to promote sales. With the mass production of goods in modern times, sales promotion inevitably requires services of mass media which can carry the advertising message to the largest possible number of potential consumers. The media of advertising thus play a vital role in the sale of goods and services. Suitable media, it is impossible to think of promoting sales in markets with hundreds and thousands of potential buyers. This is because salesmen can personally contact only a limited number of individuals or retail shops. Likewise, producers and traders cannot contact many people personally to pass on information relating to their products or services. Advertising and economy. Advertising is a growing business in India today. It has been gaining importance in our economy. The role advertising plays continues to increase in significance year and year. The host of new products marketed, the expenses and the risks involved in launching them, and the low cost of personal selling are among the conditions which have placed a heavy responsibility on the advertising industry. In India, with its growing productive capacity and output, there is a need for finding consumers for this growing output. Advertising plays an important role in the process of moving the goods from the producers to the consumers. With mass marketing to distribute the output of our production, the gross national product (GNP) may increase to a considerable extent. Advertising helps to increase mass marketing while aiding the consumers to choose from amongst the variety of products offered for selection. It was in the later half of the 19th century that mass advertising, as we came to know, it came into being. Mass production became a reality and channels of distribution had to be developed to cope with the physical movement of goods, creating a need for mass communication to inform consumers of the choices available to them. This development was accelerated by increasing literacy. Advertising growth. In India, advertising as a potent and recognized means of communication was accepted about 50 years ago. The growth in advertising after the 1990s can be attributed to liberalization, deregulation, and globalization. Advertising as a profession is still developing and a lot more is happening in the field. Today, we are exposed to a large number of commercial messages than at any time in the past. Newspapers, magazines, televisions, radio, and internet are full of advertisements and are contributing to the growth of the industry. Scope of advertising. The scope of advertising as a persuasive communication process is vast, as it can be used by a wide range of organizations and companies across various industries and sectors. Advertising can be used to promote products and services in areas such as consumer goods, healthcare, education, finance, and more. Additionally, advertising can be used to promote social causes and ideas such as public health campaigns or environmental awareness campaigns. With the increasing prevalence of digital media and social media platforms, the scope of advertising has expanded even further, allowing organizations to reach a global audience and target specific demographics more effectively. Advertising in India has played a vital role in the development process by creating a demand for consumer goods and raising the living standards of millions. A substantial amount of advertising expenses are utilized on advertisements of capital goods, intermediaries, consumer durables, and services, promote investment, production, and employment. There are various products available in the market in different categories and different brands with varied proposition in the same category. So, it is necessary to provide information to consumers about the products. Advertising plays this communicator role to the consumers as the economy becomes more complex and dimensions of competition undergoes change. Advertising's role changes and has a strategic significance in developed economies. Advertising plays a major role in connecting the manufacturer to the consumer, in providing services and new product ideas from producers to consumers. Advertising is a reminder to the existing customers and it aims at cultivating new prospects also. So, it is perceived as an effective medium with the target audience. Further, advertising has a definite role to play in rural development, and Indian advertisement has made a lot of progress in this direction as well. Indian advertising has to open up the vast rural markets, an important market segment of India's economy. Advertising public opinion. Advertising aims at molding general public opinion. As a result of this, there is a tremendous scope for development and may be productively used for the benefit of producers, traders, consumers, and the country's economy. However, with this expansion comes the need for advertisers to be more responsible and ethical in their messaging and to ensure that they do not mislead or offend their target audience. Non-personal communication from an identified sponsor using mass media to persuade or influence an audience. Good advertising must A. Generate attention, B. Be believable, C. Be easily understood, and D. Be remembered. The three fundamental objectives of advertising are 1. To inform, 2. To persuade, and 3. To remind. the target audience. One of the major objectives of advertising is to change the attitude of a person in a way that moves him closer to the product being advertised. Advertising plays a greater role in bringing changes in the society and providing new product information to the customers. It also enhances productivity due to mass scale consumption.